Do you remember your final vow?
Sure.
What was it like? What do you remember the most about your final vows?
My final vow, like the name finally professed, like I don't need to renew my vow every year or 3 years again. So it was like a fulfilling, Today I am sealing my vow with the Lord Jesus Christ, and that was the day they gave me my ring. Yes, so that's one of the significance of final vows. It's like a wedding in the church.
It's your wedding day, yeah.
Yes, so you don't need to look at any other man again, even if you intended to. Yes.
Because when you haven't taken your final vow, there's still kind of that thought in your mind that maybe if I'm called to get married or something like that or something else. But after this final vow, no
more.
That's it. Do you remember anything specifically about the day itself?
The date was on October 23rd. And one thing that I still remember very well, that we have to have a retreat outside the environment where the profession will take place in one of our communities, in one of our formation houses. So we were there for the 1 week, and we came back on the evening of that day in order to get ready. And believe me, it rained cat and dog that day. It rained. That's, oh my goodness. The whole night we were so scared the way the rain fall. And I didn't know it wasn't only in the city, it rained even in my village.
So it was a huge storm.
It was a huge storm.
Was it with lightning and everything and thunder?
Everything.
Wow.
Everything.
And how long was the storm?
It lasted like 3-4 hours. Yeah. And our cathedral at that time was not yet completed. So in the morning when we came out, but good thing, immediately in the morning, it stopped. It stopped. The weather was so bright. So when we came out, I remember our bishop meeting us, and the first thing he said, "It looks like you ladies did not pray. You did not pray." And we said, "No, my Lord, we did pray. Don't worry. You will see that we prayed." And then we saw people cleaning the cathedral, getting the pews were wet.
Oh, yes. So because it's not complete. It's open, right? Yeah. Wow.
So they get everything. People worked hard that day. The youth, the mothers, they really worked hard. Then from that moment, it was bright. Everything went very well. And then the whole week was dry. There wasn't any rain anywhere. So it's just
that one storm passed through. How long was this retreat?
It was 1 week.
So a whole week. Was it a silent retreat or?
No, it was preached. I remember it's one of the bishops in the Nigerian Bishop Ayo Maria, that hold that retreat for us, and it was enjoyable too.
That's fantastic. Yes. And then you go into to take your final vow.
Yes.
Was your family there?
Yes, my family came, and it was great. By then, I lost my dad. My dad died 3 years after my profession. He died in 1990, so he was not in the picture again.
But at least you two had buried the hatchet, and he had expressed his support for you.
Yes.
At least you had that.
Yes, that was my joy. But then he died. But my mom and my siblings and the community were there.
And that whole panel of people, they were there as well.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
They supported you throughout.
They supported me all through.
So this panel, where did they get their funding?
It was individual.
Oh, so they put their own money.
It was individual.
So it wasn't an organization. It was just a group of people that wanted to support somebody's vocation.
Yes, it
wow.
was.
That kind of makes you think, because here in the United States, if somebody wants to enter a vocation, there's funding comes from lots of different places.
Exactly.
But, you growing up in Nigeria, you had to find somebody
to support. To support
Otherwise, you wouldn't have entered. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I know a lot of people that have vocation have not made it because of financial.
Wow. Yes. Just think about all the people that could have served and who could have led, a life of service, but they just couldn't because they couldn't afford. Wow. Do they have organizations now that fund that from here, from the United States, that send money to help vocations?
I don't think so, but it's still some individuals that can. And the congregation also has to help so that you don't need to stop going if you have vocation because of money. Yes.
It's just that those types of things we take for granted here in the United States. Like you said, the sacraments, because of the lack of funding, you have to find a way to pay.
Exactly.
Because there's just so little money. Wow.
Exactly.
What was your first assignment as a religious sister?
I was assigned to work in the Catholic school. So I was given a bursar to be a bursar of the school with financial assistance. You call it here, it's some bursar or bookkeeping.
Okay.
Yeah. We
like
call
a clerk
it
or a bookkeeper.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. We call it a bursar in my country. So that was the first assignment in a Catholic school, nursery primary school then. And then I also teach the kids religion like a CCE. So that was the first thing I did.
So at this point, I'm trying to think about how the finances go. So you have a salary that will kind of pay for your needs. So you no longer need people donating. Is that how it works?
No,
as a teacher,
as a sister, you will be paid, but it goes direct to the community.
Yes.
Yeah. Then the community is responsible for your
needs.
For your needs.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you only are given what you need, transportation money and that type of thing.
Everything you need, they provide it. Yes.
Okay. So that way you don't need any more sponsor.
You don't need external help again. Yes.
Because you're already providing for the community and for yourself.
Yes.
So how long were you in that role?
I was there like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to further studies. I went to School of Medical Lab to become a medical personnel.
Okay.
I studied medical laboratory science, and I graduated with hematology, blood group, serology. So.
Were you looking to become a doctor?
No, I was just to be to analyze blood in the lab. Yeah. So if before the blood will be given out, you have to screen it to make sure it's compatible with the recipient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was what I did.
So how many years did you do that?
It was I took it in 2 batches. I did the first 3 years, and then I went to college to do it in degree 4 years. Then I graduated and came out.
So you worked in that field for how long?
I worked in that field from the time I graduated in 2000 till 2008.
At this point, are you still teaching CCE or?
Yeah, I still teach it as part-time in the church. Yeah, those things doesn't count as your job as a sister. You have to do them. Yeah, once in a week or twice. Yes.
Okay, so you have that on top of your job.
Yes.
That will pay for your
my sustenance.
Yes. Now, you said until 2008. What happened after that?
2008 was when I came to United States.
How did you come here?
How I came is that my congregation will always give you opportunity to go out for mission work. What I don't know is how they select it, but I was called to come over. I was asked if I want to go to Europe or to America. And I chose America because of language. I didn't think I can learn the language at my age. So I decided to come to United States where I know they speak English.
So you had spoken English growing up?
Yes. English was our lingua franca because Britain was, Irish people were the one that evangelized us in the church. And
if you had chosen Europe, where would they have sent you?
If I chosen?
Yeah, if you chose Europe, where would they have sent you?
I think Rome. I could have gone to Rome.
Rome.
It was specified that I would go and continue with the catechetics. And I said, no, I'm not going.
Wow. So you missed that opportunity because of language?
Yes. Actually, when I was called to go to school for the first time, I said I'm not going to Europe to study. I rather study in Nigeria. That's why I went to college in Nigeria. Yeah. So
you had there was a possibility that you could go to Europe.
Yes.
To study early.
Yeah, earlier. But I said no. I had a phobia of going abroad then.
Wow.
I did. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it because of the language, or you just didn't want to fly?
I think the main thing was I encountered a sister when I was a young prophet. She said she studied in Europe, and she came back. She did catechetics, and she came back. She's working in a parish, and then she lives in the convent, of course. So she said she was having a problem with the priest, her pastor in the church. And when she comes back to the church, to the convent again, she will have a problem with her sisters because the priest will tell her, you have to do this, you don't need to leave so time. And when she comes back to the convent, the sisters will be on her neck again that you stayed the whole day in the church. So I was like...
So there was a conflict between her...
I told myself, if I do this course now, is it not the type of thing I will meet in my own community? That I don't want such type of conflict in my life. So that was what made me to turn that off and down.
So you just didn't want any possibility of any conflict.
Yes,
so you just said, I'll avoid it.
Yes, I said I better do what I want. Actually, I wanted to do medical lab. I have for whatever reason, I love to do. I had it in mind. That's what I would do because I was good in sciences. I did sciences in second. So that was my main target. And then, but I could have done whatever the sisters want me if I didn't hear that story. I think that story was what scared me most. And I said no. So that was why I didn't go at that early age.
When you came here to the United States, did you come directly here to Houston?
No. My first place was in Indianapolis. Yes. The Benedictine sisters in Indiana invited us. So my sisters were already there before I came. And then I joined them and I worked in their assisted living. And I have a very, very unpleasant experience. The matron of that place that I worked for whatever reason, it didn't go well with me and her. I remember her one day saying that that they told her that I'm good for nothing.
Really?
Yes, and I'm like, I have never had a thing like this in my entire life. Even as a leg girl, talk of as a sister, you're telling me that I'm good for nothing. And I told her that I have not had this type. And she called my sister to my local superior then. And the sister was scared too and was like, no, this is not Sister Fortune that she knows. And anyway, but...
what happened? Why? What caused this conflict with you and that lady?
I think what happened is I came to United States in March 8th. I started that job in April 8th. So I think cultural shock was there. They don't understand me. I don't understand them. But I was trying my very best to do the right thing. I believe I was doing the right thing, and the resident was very pleased with me. But I think some of the workers were not pleased with me because of the way I was like very blunt. I didn't know how to filter things. I would tell you right away that this is not good or this is. So that was on my own side what I can think about. And then they were reporting me to her without me knowing. I still remember one experience that made me to believe that they were really ganging up for me to leave that place.
Oh, wow.
There was a day, one of them came and asked me to, they will eat. I didn't know their food. So I was only eating watermelon in that place.
Okay.
And I will even pour hot water on that watermelon to be to my taste, because it was cold. It was too cold. Everything was cold. So I think those things, they didn't like it. So I remember one of them coming to one day asked me to eat pizza, and I said no. And she wanted me to take the pizza. I said no. She did everything possible and told me to take that pizza home. And I said no, because I know nobody will eat it at home. So why am I taking it? So it was later that I realized that she was setting me up so that if I take that pizza home, they will say that I have broken their policy, that nobody should take food home. And she was on top of me.
Oh, so she was trying to get you fired.
She was trying to get me.
Wow.
But I just thank God that it didn't work. And then they finally did whatever they did, and they fired me.
Wow.
They did fire me. And that affected my papers, because they were the ones doing my papers.
Oh, they were like your sponsor.
Yeah,
they
were the ones doing my residency, but the Bible said, before I found you in my womb, in your mother's womb, I know you, and I consecrated you. So it came out in my life. So when they fired me, I came home. I told them I have been fired. Then the sisters helped me to go to another place to work, which was not the people that invited me. So I by this time now, I'm leaving the church, going to public place to work. So I started working there, and something happened again in that place.
Really?
Yes. So I was doing 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Then I finished the work on night like that, 3 to 11. I came back the following day, 3 o'clock. I clocked in. I was not up to 5 minutes. Somebody came and called me that the supervisor is calling me. I didn't think of anything, so I went. And she said I should carry my bag. I'm like, you said supervisor is calling me. Why should I carry my bag? Then she said, okay. Then we went, and the lady said, and they said that yesterday one of the residents fell, and they called you to help to get him up, and you said no. I'm like, me? Saying no.
So they accused you of not helping?
That a resident was on the floor, and that they called me to help, and I said no. I like, me? I said, to start with, there was no fall. There was no fall from...
So they lied.
From 3 p.m. to 11 o'clock, I left this place. That's when you have the power of genuineness, when you are sure of what you are doing.
Yes.
So I was like, from 3 p.m. till 11 o'clock, I left this facility yesterday. There was no fall of any kind.
Yeah.
And remember, I left with one of the workers. Why is she not here with me in this panel now?
Yes.
So they said, no, you have to leave until we investigate on that.
Wow.
I was, okay. Then they escort me to get my bag, and they escort me out of the facility.
Wow.
I felt like so humiliated.
Yeah.
And, oh God, that was one of my hardest time in this country. So
wow.
I got to the car. I started my car. To be candid, I didn't know where I was driving. I was driving. I was crying. I was like, then I had a voice. Fortune, if you die in this country, you waste your life. I had it vividly. And I cleared my eyes and I like, yes. Then I started looking. I have gone far from where I was going. I didn't know where I was going. So what I did, I started recollecting where I am, and I got myself to St. Michael's Catholic Church in Indiana. They have perpetual adoration. So that was the only thing that came to my mind. I went to that place. Immediately I got to the adoration ground. I felt prostrated on the church, in the chapel, before the supposed Blessed Sacrament, and I cried. And I cried, and I cried. So after crying, the only thing I told Jesus is that you have to vindicate me in this case. You just have to do that. So I took my phone. I called one of my sisters. When I say sister, is a fellow religious sister. I called her. I told her what happened and told her where I was. And she said that I have done the right thing, that I should talk it over with Jesus.
Yes.
So I did, and I stayed in that place till the time 11 o'clock. I did like that's my job that day. So I now went home. By then the sisters are gone to bed, and I gone to bed myself. The following day, I'm not going anywhere because I'm fired already. So there was a sister that was to do her graduation in Missouri that weekend. And then this sister said, okay, let's go to that place since they fired you, because that's why I didn't invite you before. That my friend. So she got ticket and we went.
So you went to Missouri?
Yes, for that graduation.
Okay.
Before I left, I think that happened on Wednesday. Then on Friday, I was planning to go on Saturday. On Friday, I got a call from that place, from my workplace.
What did they say?
They said, Sister Fortune, please come to work. We have investigated. It was lie.
So at least they found out that they had lied against you. So did they fire the person who told the lie?
I don't know, but that was when I got more angry. I now spoke to the lady. I said, it's very easy for you now to call me to come to work just like that. Do you know the type of damage you have done to me?
Yeah, the humiliation. Yeah.
Do you know the type of damage you have done to me? And it just sounds easy for you to tell me to come to work today. Please, I'm not coming to that work. And he said, okay, sister, please take your time. Tell us when you're ready to come. Because I said, I have plans already. I'm not coming to the work today. How dare you to tell me that? And she said, okay, please tell us when you're ready to come. I said, if at all, I will be ready to come. But I said, thank God that you come out with the truth.
With the truth, yeah. Yes. At least that happened, yes.
Yeah. So I went to the graduation and came back and took my time. I think I called them middle of the week and said that, okay, I'm coming tomorrow. And they said, okay. So when I went, she told me that they did the investigation that it was after 11 o'clock when we have gone that the person fell. I said, but why did I come in the picture?
Yes.
And she said she was just begging me, so I left it. But that really, when that happened, I started looking for another job, and I got a home health job. That after some weeks with them, I put my resignation and joined those other people, where I had a very good experience. I remember the lady interviewing me asked me, you have not had the experience of, how do I know you will do a good job? I said, you hire me and then you observe me. And then she laughed and said this. In her entire days of doing this job, she had not gotten this type of answer. I say, yeah, you cannot know how I work in my kitchen, so you have to hire me and then observe me. And she said, that's very true. For that, I'm going to hire you. And then
so you said, I'll prove it to you. That's the only way I can show you.
Yeah, you have to hire me and then you watch me. So she did, and I really enjoyed her. But I didn't stay so long in that place. I was transferred to Rhode Island.
Oh, yeah. So it still was a while before you made it here to Texas.
Yes.
How long were you in Rhode Island?
I stayed in Rhode Island for 4 years.
What did you do there?
I was working still in the assisted living, but that one was now with the sisters, the Macy sisters, their retirement house. I was working as I did mentake. Then I was working as a mentake so the residents were older religious sisters. Some of them were sisters, and many of them were sisters. Only the parents of the sisters that were there also that were older there. So I enjoyed them so much. Yes.
In Rhode Island, so you did that for 4 years.
Yes.
What after that? Is that when you came here to?
Yeah, it was Houston? When I was in Rhode Island. I had a vacation. I visited San Antonio. Our sisters live in San Antonio.
Okay.
So I visited them, and the weather was so beautiful. And so we have this type of place in America, and I'm there in the cold because I didn't like cold at all. So I called the sister, our regional superior. Then I said, "Sister, please, if you people still want me in America, please transfer me to San Antonio, or you take me back to Nigeria. The cold is becoming too much.
Yeah.
And then she lost. Okay. Then the following year, they transferred me to San Antonio.
So at least you can give those type of suggestions.
Yes. The religious life is not how people see it outside. Yeah, you have room to make a suggestion. Yeah,
even of course. They don't want to send somebody somewhere where they really don't want to go.
Yeah, you have room to dialogue with your superiors and yeah.
So you kind of make the decision together, and they make the final decision.
They make the final, yes.
So they sent you here to Houston, or did you go to San Antonio first?
They sent me to San Antonio. So I was in San Antonio, and the first day I went to San Antonio, the oblate, I don't know, they have oblate of Immaculate Mary. You know, that place you have a replica of Our Lady of Lourdes. You think it's Our Lady of Lourdes shrine. Very beautiful. So the first day I went to that place, I was like, I hear this voice that I will bless you here. I will bless you here. Okay. So, but when I got there, I started working with their retirement house. Yeah. But it wasn't so pleasing.
Wasn't a good fit.
It was good, but I was like, I have not seen that blessing you promised me, you know. So I didn't have a car to go. I was trekking under sun, rain, you know. I was like, okay, Lord, I'm still waiting for your blessing. Yeah, so it was after 2 years, then the sister called me. By then I started applying to to work in the hospital in my field.
Yes.
Yeah. So I got to this hospital and it looks very promising. The person was so excited. She gave me everything. I have to start coming to volunteer in the lab until they now hire me finally, like a provisional admission.
Is this in San Antonio still?
In San Antonio,
okay.
yeah. So when I was doing that, I got everything, my badge, everything, and the following day, sister called me that there is a work coming that they have in Katy, that they want me. The congregation said that they want me. I'm like, congregation, this time I'm getting my job that I need.
You're finally in the field, in your field, and then the following day, they send you somewhere else.
My sister said, yeah, that's what the congregation decide. So,
so they really needed you in Katy.
She really caught me because she was asking me to come to Houston sometime, before I went to San Antonio. I said, no, Houston is too big. I don't want it. I can't get my way in Houston. I don't want it. So she told me this time, Katy is a very small city, so you don't have any excuse. So I was like, okay. I was still contemplating on it, and I prayed. One night I went like 2 a.m. to the chapel and prayed. The chapel is within the convent. We have a chapel.
Okay.
So I was praying there and I was just hearing, do what they said, do what they said, do what they said. Oh my God. So I got up the following morning. I called sister, okay, sister, I'm ready to go to Katy. And she said, okay. So I went to Katy. I came to Katy in 2018, January, yeah. But I came like in November to talk with the priest, Father Christopher Plant. Then he was the pastor of SaintBartholomew. So we met with him, and after talking, then I loved him. He was so humane, and so I went back and get my things and arrived finally.
And you said that was it after that interview?
Yeah. So when I came to, what brought me to that is when I came to Katy, that I realized that blessing that the Lord was talking. It has been a blessing to me in Katy.
And your role all throughout has been the same roles that you have now, that you spoke about earlier?
In Katy, in St. Barth's, yes.
So you've been consistently doing those roles?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
You're welcome.
Sister Fortune, for for everything that you do for the community, and for coming in and telling your story to us. It's a fantastic story.
Thank you so much.
God bless you and all the work that you do at St. Bart's, and we hope to see you there for many years to come.
I cannot do without thanking people that have made it so interesting in St. Bart for me. One of them is Emma. She has been so wonderful in that community, yes. And a couple of them, the community is amazing, honestly. I thank God for giving me opportunity to experience them and to dilute the experience I have in Indiana. Because if I didn't come to St. Bart's, maybe I will have a different impression of America.
Especially you might have gone back
from Indiana. Yes, yeah.
If you had gone after Indiana and just gone straight back to
I will have a different story of America. Yeah, there won't be in my good book, but with Katy, oh no, I know that God is everywhere, and we have a very good people all over the world, but it depends on whom you meet at any point in time. Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
God bless you.
God bless you too for what you do.